Hello and welcome to the Insomnia presentation. I hope that this gives you some ideas on how to deal with the very frustrating problem of not being able to get enough sleep. It sounds crass, but needs to be said. Every sleep doctor will tell you the bedroom should only be used for sleep and sex. This trains your brain that when you cross the threshold into your bedroom, you're going to do one of two things there. If you watch TV, read books, listen to music, whatever else you do in your bedroom, then you are training your brain to not know what to expect when you enter the bedroom. And then your brain doesn't know that it needs to relax and go into sleep mode. The VA has put out a lot of good, helpful, and free apps in regards to insomnia, including CBTI Coach and Insomnia Coach. I recommend checking them out. I'm a big data hound. I think data is knowledge, knowledge is power. And one approach to fixing or improving a sleep problem is to know exactly how much sleep you're getting and what is the quality of that sleep. And probably the best device on the market for measuring that is the Oura Ring, which is a very fashionable looking, low, discrete ring that you just wear, and it's got a sensor on the inside and gives you a wealth of information on how you're sleeping. Meditation is extremely helpful for slowing down the brain and helping to get better sleep. I recommend the Calm app. For those so inclined, Dr. Abrams at UC San Francisco is probably the leading researcher in regards to cannabis use and how it pertains to improving sleep difficulties. High CBD inhaled cannabis can help with sleep. This is important. It's important for you to know to get a high CBD, low THC variety because THC is the psychoactive component and you want to minimize that. I don't recommend this for patients under the age of 30. So if so inclined, high CBD vaporized cannabis can help. Coffee's a big one. Coffee stays in our body forever. The half-life is 6 hours, meaning that 12 hours after a cup of coffee, a quarter of it is still active in your body. Certainly, if you're having sleep trouble, do not drink coffee after, or any caffeine, after noon, and maybe not all day. Some people are more sensitive than others. Consider complete elimination of caffeine. Conversely, natural ways to help you fall asleep include such things as chamomile tea or valerian root. Omega-3 fatty acids are so important in helping to produce your natural supply of melatonin. You can get this through the diet, through cold water fish like salmon or halibut. You can get it from walnuts or ground up flaxseed. Louisiana State University researchers showed that drinking tart cherry juice daily can help with sleep, and gout for that matter. Another thing to minimize or completely eliminate if you're having sleeping difficulty is alcohol. Alcohol can make you sleepy, but it's like Benadryl. You wake up 2 to 3 hours later because it has such a rebound effect. Not a great solution for sleep difficulties. We mentioned, or I touched on meditation earlier. Other ways to relax include yoga or deep breathing exercises, and there's some resources for you. Okay, the best non-pharmacologic, actually probably the best way to retrain your brain to fall asleep is called sleep restriction, which is as hard as it sounds. But for the highly motivated patient willing to put in the work over the weeks and months, this really does work. Number one, you want to estimate how much sleep you're actually getting now. That is your total hours of sleep. Let's say it's 5 hours. Okay, what time do you want to wake up in the morning? You want to wake up at 6 in the morning? So tonight, you don't even get into bed until 1 a.m., 5 hours before your desired wake time. Don't get into bed, don't enter your bedroom. Tonight you go hit the hay at 1 o'clock a.m., And you do this every night until you are asleep for 90% of that time. This is your sleep efficiency. Once you achieve 90% sleep efficiency, you back up your bedtime by 15 or 20 minutes. Now you're starting to see why this can take weeks or months, but it's really effective. You're gonna be tired, but resist the impulse to go to bed before your sleep restriction bedtime. Well, now you're going to bed at, say, 12:45, still waking up at 6 a.m. You do this every night until you're asleep for 90% of that time, and then you back up your bedtime by another 15 minutes or so. Now you're going to bed at 12:30 a.m., waking at 6. Repeat until you're getting the full 8 hours recommended for healthy brain and mood. There is compelling evidence out there for self-hypnosis in helping people to sleep. I think this is underutilized, and if you're looking for some resources to try out, they're listed there on the slide. Interesting fun fact of the day, pistachio nuts are the greatest dietary source of melatonin. Eat up. Screens dominate our life. This is new for the human brain over the last 100 years, since the advent of electricity, and our brains don't know what to do with this. When you have blue light from screens, TVs, iPads, phones, etc., coming in to your brain, your pineal gland, which normally produces melatonin, does not do that. It thinks it's still daytime. And so you stay awake longer, and then you can't just turn off your phone and go to sleep, because it takes a while for your pineal gland to gradually produce the melatonin to naturally fall asleep. So a good rule of thumb is no screens within 90 minutes of bedtime. And there are hacks. The night shift feature on the iPhone is one. It shuts off the blue light. And there's a downloadable f.lux for the desktop computer that does the same thing. If you don't trust yourself, you can take the decision out of your hands and plug your Wi-Fi into a timer so it'll just automatically shut you out 90 minutes before your desired bedtime. It's also important to get blue light, or preferably daylight, sunlight, at the right time, in the morning, and as little as 7 minutes of sunlight hitting your retinas every morning helps you to sleep better that night. Same with morning meditation. Just 5 minutes of morning meditation well before bedtime helps you sleep better that night. Valerian, I mentioned this, it's been used for centuries. It's an herb from valerian root. We get the drug name Valium, and it helps people sleep, and it's very safe, so you can try that. Dosages are listed on the slide. Melatonin's another one. Very safe. The one thing to keep in mind with these over-the-counter herbs or supplements is the concept of tachyphylaxis or tolerance. Your body can get used to them and they'll lose their effectiveness, so you really don't want to use them more than twice a week. L-theanine is another one derived from the green tea leaf. So dosages, again, 200 to 250 milligrams listed there in the slide. Gravity blankets. These are interesting, and there's some science to support the effect of weighted blanket to reproduce the sensation that you're in the womb. If they make some for the summer, which are cooled, so you can do this year-round, and I believe the website is gravityblankets.com. You can just Google it, and they're about $249. Jasmine, aromatherapy gets a bad rap sometimes, but I've seen studies showing that jasmine in the air can be soothing to the brain and help you sleep. This, if you really want to nerd out, I love this interview with Matthew Walker, one of the world's foremost sleep experts, from the Peter Attia The Drive podcast. You can YouTube it or read Dr. Walker's book, Why We Sleep. This concludes the Insomnia sleep presentation. I hope you found it helpful and empowering. If you have questions, please message me through the portal or feel free to set up a visit in the office or by telemedicine, and good luck.